Hello and welcome back. Well, I've got a real doozy here for you today. Picked up a free bike, very old, very vintage. Well, it's not old, but it is definitely vintage. This is what you call a Healing, and it's a New Zealand produced bike. It would have been made in New Zealand as well, assembled in New Zealand. All the tubing would have been welded in New Zealand. It's probably a late 70s, maybe 80s bike, but probably more like 70s. This is kind of like what you call a Kiwiana. This is a classic New Zealand 10-speed steel commuter bike from the late 70s. So as you can see, it's not in great shape. It was literally pulled out of a bush. I had to pull all the weeds out of the wheels. The back wheel unfortunately didn't survive. It was all buckled. That's probably why it got left in a bush and never to find its way on the road again. So I've now got it for free, and here it is. It's a little rough. As you can see, it's going to need a definite flame-throwing action going on. I've clean all the cobwebs and spiders off this thing, and then strip it down and rebuild it. So yeah, here it is in the flesh. it's pretty basic. It's classic old Shimano gearing from, or Suntour even, from back in the day. Nothing really to speak about, but I'm thinking it's a 27-inch wheel bike, so it has spacing for bigger tyres, and it's got my juices flowing, and I think I could possibly stick a couple of 700C wheels in there and beef it up to some maybe Monster Cross style knobblies. We'll see what size I can fit in. Yeah, and run like a single speed Monster Cross, which would be kind of cool. That's my initial thoughts anyway, so I think we'll leave the original paint job like it is and just give it a bloody good scrub. The top tube is looking a little worse for wear, but we'll give that a clean down. All adds to the patina, and yeah, I think it's got some cool 70s, 80s vibe to it. Classic New Zealand bike. And we will see how it goes. So stay tuned. Next one will be strip down and fireball episode. I'll show you guys how to get rid of spiders. We don't need creepy crawlies around here, so yeah, stay tuned. Hey, welcome back. So it's the next day now, and you know how I mentioned we're going to do some fireballs today, and a little top tip on how to get rid of creepy crawlies and spiders and all that sort of carry on a bike that's been sitting in a bush for many years. Well, you know, here's the bike. So as I showed you yesterday, it's covered in it. So yeah, I don't like working on this stuff as much as the next guy, but you know, you've got to get rid of it somehow. So what I figure is, before I start stripping this frame down and putting on all the new bits and pieces that we're going to go for, I want to get rid of everything that's living in it, basically. Time to move on, I'm afraid. Like little spiders' nests and all that carry on are everywhere. Goodness knows what's under this saddle. Luckily we're not keeping the saddle. We're not going to keep the bars, we're not going to keep the brake levers. We're keeping the stem. And the wheels are going to go, and let's see, I may or may not be using the cranks yet, but pretty much I'm stripping the frame down to a bare frame for starters, so everything's going to go, and we usually have something up under the fork crown. There's always some little creepy little bugger hiding up under there, so I am going to use just my usual little recipe of stuff. So I usually just use a lighter and some of this little classic TF2. It's just a lubricant, it's just a spray. That with a lighter, and we get ourselves some fire. So I don't recommend this to everyone, but it's just a quick way of getting rid of some shitty little spiders. So yeah, let's get ready for this and see what happens. Alrighty, I've removed the wheel because we don't want that catching on fire. So here we go, just a quick little burst of flames will clear up this rubbish everywhere. So here goes some bugs. Just what I want. So extreme heat. Beautiful, beautiful, that's what we want. Just needs a little short burst, that's all it needs. You can imagine how hot that is for a poor old spider. A little hot on the thumb, so we're just going to get up under here. It's pretty good. So I'll get one more up underneath the fork in a minute, but I have to get rid of this cover because it's blocking my progress basically. And there we go. Clean of any bugs, hopefully. Yeah, hope you enjoyed that. Okay, well, as you can see, no more cobwebs. All gone burger. Pretty clean. So pretty happy about that. A few bits and pieces hanging off here, but like I say, I'm moving on all these bits and pieces, not going to fuss around with them. So, alright, let's get to it. I'm just pretty much going to start stripping this bike down now. Just dumping what I don't want. Some of the stuff's just absolutely worthless. Really, I used to keep a lot of it, but I don't do that much anymore because this stuff here is just never going to use it. So we will move it on, and I'll get to stripping it down, and I'll show you guys once I'm through a little bit of it, and see where we're at. So stand by, and yeah, I'll show you shortly. As you can see, I have stripped most of it off. These are pretty much what I want to keep right now. I'm having a little bit of problem with the last crank. The arm is still on there, but plastic cap is still on there, so I'll work on that and dig it out. And then I'll pull the crank off. Still got to pull that little broken kickstand bracket off, but other than that, there's the old post, there's the frame, there's a bin full of rubbish. I'll use that SR stem again, it's nice and short, so yeah, soon I'll give it a good clean, see what the paint job comes up like, and move on to start rebuilding it. So yeah, stay tuned. Hey, as you can see, I have cleaned up the frame a bit more. It's come up okay, but it's also revealed the fact that the bike is you know, seen better days as far as the paint goes. You can see it's all discoloured and it's got rub marks all over the thing. Decals have worn out, and it's got some life in it in some areas. You can see the old beautiful paint, but in others it's looking pretty old. Got most of the grease off where needed. So yeah, there it is. So being a 27-inch frame, like I said, I'm thinking of running the 700C with some bigger tyres, but all I could find was I've either got ones that are just too big or these ones. So at the moment I think I'll just run these Schwalbe all-rounders, or what do they call them, X1s. I'm pretty sure these are like a 35mm tyre, and it's got the spacing, as you can see, plenty of clearance. I'm just running a mock-up at the moment to see how well it goes. It will look nice. I'm a bit skeptical about using these black wheels at the moment, but yeah, it should look alright. I might dig out another set of wheels, just an older silver set, but yeah, the old black never fails, as you well know. As for the other wheel, I've got it in the truing stand here. I'm actually building it up because this wheel, which is a perfectly good rim, spokes and all that, has got a dead hub. As you can see, it's spinning both ways. It's stripped itself out, but I just happen to have another 28-hole hub here, so it's pretty much being a Shimano, it's the same body, it's just got a different free hub on it, so I can't swap the free hub onto that one. I'll have to do a whole hub swap, so just got to been working on towards that. Should be done in about 30 minutes. Lace this into that hub there, into that wheel, and we'll have ourselves a back wheel. So that should be good. This one's, I'll say it's better, but it's not beautiful, but it should go alright actually. So we'll run that hub. I've got a couple of items over here, as you can tell, drying in the garage here. The old SR stem I've hit with some black. The post I've tidied up with some black. It was already black, but it was a bit scratched, so we'll run those as well. Short stem. I've got some bars in the shed, I'll bring those out shortly. We'll probably run it as a single speed. I'm coming up with a gearing at the moment. I've got these old school Focus RX 100s. Actually quite attractive looking crank, 130 BCD. So I'll run it with the probably run it with the 39 alloy chainring, just because I think, being the style of bike it is, monster cross style, you want it to spin up. You don't want to have a big tall heavy gear that you can't get you can't turn over. So keep it quite spinny to a point anyway, so you can get it thrown into some sticky situations and be able to pedal yourself through. So yeah, I'll run those cranks, I'll run these brakes, and that's the other thing, it's only going to be running just long reach caliper brakes, the original brakes, which are the the Shimano Tawneys, so they will fit. Pads will drop down, plenty of clearance in there. They won't be the biggest, powerfulest stoppers in the world, but it's the thought that counts. As long as you can slow down, I think it's still a fun bike. It should be a fun bike. I'm quite looking forward to seeing what it looks like. So let's see how we go. I'll keep on pushing through with this wheel, and I'll check in with you shortly. Got the wheel finished. It didn't take as long as I thought. It's probably 20 minutes. Delace, relace, put it in a fresh hub, so like I explained, and that has come up pretty straight, so that should be good. Yeah, that'll be fine. So that'll match the front wheel. Put a knobbly on that one. That'll be a nice little finish. So that's starting to look good. Got the handlebars from the shed. Got the brake levers. These showed up in a previous video where I was thinking of using them on one of the last builds, but I think I'll save them for now. So these are Dicomp black, so they came out black, so they're a little bit rare actually, but nice little aero levers, and they'll go on these ITM bars, Super Italia Procef 260. So they're kind of an ergo drop, I suppose, a little bit more reach, but they'll go up on here, and should look pretty smart. So we've got that. We'll go down the black stem that I've freshly painted. The black there. I'll get some bar tape. I think I've got some black bar tape. So it's coming around. So I'll fit this tyre up and we will get into it. Put the wheel on, see what it starts looking like. Start taking shape. So stand by. Oh, here we are. I've gone a ways through it since last time I checked in with you. Got the bars on, got the hoods on, got the long reach calipers in place, front and rear. Tyres on, wheels on. I've got the posting up a bit high at the moment, but I'll adjust that later. Cranks are on. It's starting to look like a bike again, which is cool. I think it'll ride pretty good. I've got to tighten up a few things like the hubs and the headset, and remove all the rattles on the bike, and it should be a nice smooth riding bike. But other than that, I'm still going at it. I will get some spacers for the hub on the back. Just run out of enough at the moment. I'll get maybe a 15 or a 16 cog. I'll work out what a nice ratio is off-road. I think this bike is going to look cool with a bit of nice little light layer of mud on it, just to add to that crazy patina on it. It's quite funky, really. Quite like it. Otherwise, there it is, and it's coming along nicely. Alright, well, I've gone through it a wee bit further, got the bar tape on, got the front brake dialed up. Actually feels quite nice, that should stop right. About to put the chain on, put the cog on, some spacers. I've got some spacers now. Drop the seat down to a bit more respectable height. Still got a bit of post there, but that's cool. About to figure out a nice ratio, so I've got some cogs over there to sort out, and we should have this thing fired up and ready to pedal. So looking forward to it. She's all done. There you go, guys. Finished the bike. Totally stoked with it. Just took it for a quick spin around the block over some dirt, through some tricky spots on the grass, and off some little jumps and bits and pieces, and overall damn happy with it. It rolls nice, it rides smooth. Came up with a nice overall gearing, which is a 39-15, and so I think it works out to 70-inch ratio, so not too heavy, not too spinny, so you get up to sort of 30 mid-30s if you wanted to, spinning it up, but It's kind of gets you out of trouble, and you can get on top of the gearing if you get into a little bit of trouble on the dirt or whatever. So overall, gearing's spot on, really happy with it. It's nice and silent, chain line came up real good, so really happy with that. Kind of the paint job's kind of growing on me. It's kind of, it looks real street, you know. It's kind of like tells a story. It's like been around the block. It gives it a tough appeal. I quite like that about the bike, and you don't sort of fuss over the paint job too much. So it's come up, you know, with polish, and it's got sort of different shades of bloody paint in there, which is kind of cool. So I don't mind it. If that's what someone wants, it'll be quite cool as well if they've got the same idea as I have. As you can see, I've done the bar tape, put the brake on. Brake's all wired up at the back. Overall, there you go. So I'm super happy with it, considering where it came from, which is literally the ground. It was growing into a bush, and it was missing the back wheel, covered in creepy crawlies, and to where it is now, I think it's a good repair and a good bike to get back out there for someone else to enjoy. So I'll try and find a new owner for it and move it on, and happy with the outcome. So if you like it, let me know, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for that, guys. Thanks for tuning in, and yeah, we'll catch you on the next one. See you later.